Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiT.
Bandwidth for TWiT Live at CES is provided by Cachefly at CACHEFLY.com.
This episode is brought to you by Squarespace.com, the fast and easy way to create a high-quality website or blog. For a free trial and 30% off your new account for 3 months, go to Squarespace.com and use offer code CES1.
You'll notice, and by the way, we do prescription eyewear because so many people do need prescription eyewear, but we do a custom prescription that embodies our technology. We have a partner, Carl Zeiss Vision. Zeiss is one of the most respected people in the optics industries, and they do all the custom grinding of the prescriptions for us. But I was going to mention that these do sit on your face very close to your eyes, and they curve and wrap, unlike most prescription eyewear. And that's important because that's what keeps your eyes from drying out. It can actually block the air currents from drying out your eyes and traps in moisture. So those are all the things that together work to alleviate that eye strain.
Do anybody, with that tight curve, does anyone have something with their eyelashes, or does it ever get that close?
The great thing is that we make them all with adjustable nose pads. You can actually adjust how far out or how far in they sit to your face, and everything's very lightweight, ergonomically correct, and you put them on pretty much by the end of the day you've forgotten they're on, and they really disappear when they're on your face.
So I would have to go to my eye doctor to get them?
Well, actually, if you're a 20/20 user or corrected 20/20, if you've got LASIK or you wear contacts, then you can buy the over-the-counter ready-to-wear, which is available at Best Buy or Fry's or Amazon or Gunnars.com, Gunnars.com. So that's for anyone that does not need a prescription. If you do need a prescription, then same sort of deal. Go into your eye doctor, ask for Gunnars. More than likely or not, they carry them. And then the great thing is that most insurance companies cover them as well too.
Oh, great!
So get a free pair of very specialty glasses.
So if I have 20/20 vision, can I go to the doctor anyway so I can get the insurance to cover them?
Yeah, he'll be more than happy to work with you because that's money in his pocket.
Right, exactly.
So the only people that lose out there are the insurance companies, and you know what? That's quite okay with us.
So you've got Call of Duty glasses.
Yeah,
here.
I was just going to mention that the limited edition that we did with Activision was really a fantastic thing, where we worked with them to get a style that fit in with the game, that had all of our technology but in a custom frame. These are great because they are made out of solid metal, but it's a magnesium-based alloy, so you can feel how light they are, despite the fact that they're all metal. They've got spring hinges in them, so they accommodate different head sizes. The same adjustable nose pads, and then all the technology that we talked about before to alleviate that eye strain.
Those are going to be huge for Paul Thurrott, don't you think? We should get Paul Thurrott those for Christmas. He's a huge Call of Duty fan.
Yes, that would be great. That is the right gift.
Do you mind if I take a look?
Good. Try those on.
Put those on. You know, I don't wear glasses ever.
As you look at your screen there, you can tell everybody what you're seeing, what you're feeling. You should see an increase in contrast and a relaxation of your eyes.
You know, yeah, definitely. It's a little brighter of a tone. I don't want to say yellow, but it definitely is. You know, I feel like I could. You're right. I could see a contrast better. The screen actually looks a little curved.
Get a more of a panoramic view.
Yeah, is that because of the prescription or these are
again, it's bending the light before it hits your eyes there, and it's relaxing the focus in your eyes.
And definitely the screen looks crisp. Of course, I can't sit here and use them for the next 8 hours to tell you exactly how good they work. But
that's where you'll notice a lot of benefit at the end of not just an 8-hour day. You know that everyone works their 8 hours, and then you go home, fire up the computer, and then it could be another 4, 5, 6, even another 8 hours. For the after hours computer or gaming use.
The biggest deal is when you take them off. Yeah, because I put them on, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, a little sharper, conscious. You take them off, it's almost like I'm looking at a black and white TV suddenly, And I've seen sunglasses like that before that make things pop, make things look bright.
So it's it's almost related a little bit to like a shooter's glasses.
Yeah, there are a lot of the same principles there, but what we've done is we've actually looked at the screen viewing distance, and which is a kind of a unique thing. People look at reading glasses. Reading glasses sit in close in that 18 to 24 inch range, and that computer is usually further out, more 28 to 32, 36 inches. So we've really dialed it in for the computer use. That's important because people spend so much time at computers. You know, the number one health-related office complaint is computer vision syndrome, computer-related eye strain. So people that are having any types of trouble, or people that just want to get the most out of their workday or their play, they can definitely use these and get a ton of performance and quite frankly more accuracy and more focus out of using the eyewear.
I don't know if they're good for me or not, but I definitely want them back on.
I know. I just pulled them off, and I was like, okay.
Things don't look as good.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's really now. What's the for the non-prescription? What is the price on?
Good. General price points 80 to about 120 is where the majority of our SKUs are. We have additional prices that are higher with some higher quality frames. But the great thing about it is you really get our lens technology in whatever style we're selling you. And we do between our gaming eyewear and our computer eyewear, you get the exact same lens technology. In our outdoor eyewear, we make a different lens technology that actually helps you see screens in the outdoors better. Because, as you know, it's very difficult with all of the light. The iris in your eye contracts, and so you're letting less light into your eye. So we've actually been able to make some very neat gradient lenses and non-polarized lenses, by the way, because polarization really messes with LCD.
Yeah, especially like your iPhone or iPad. Suddenly everything's half black.
Well, yeah, that's my problem with sunglasses. If I'm trying to look at my iPhone, I got to tilt them up because of that same
And that's
thing.
in fact the number of airlines have banned polarized eyewear from the cockpit because, as you can tell, the avionics that are LCD based, you've got a problem if the pilots can't see the screens there. So our outdoor eyewear with enabling you to see screens better in the outdoors, and then our premium 3D eyewear, which goes up to $150, $160 for passive 3D eyewear. It's an expensive price point, but we've really developed it for professionals.
Well, and I think that I do 3D work. I mean, we shoot 3D.
Oh, great.
And a lot of times that's the big problem is what you end up with is these cheap little glasses that we're always looking through that are polarized. You know, with the and it's just. You feel like I should be using something better, and that's been, and for us, spending that kind of money on a pair of glasses makes sense because we're doing it all day. It's not like we're just going to a movie, and I think people who are really into the 3D movies, I always find that it never fits quite right, and never really works as well as it could.
Well, and that's one of the things. We are optics specialists. We know the fit, the ergonomics, and everything that we do. I just pulled out a pair of our outdoor eyewear there. You can feel how lightweight they are, but at the same time flexible and adjustable. That's the thing about everything we do. It fits your face and it works with you as opposed to working against you.
Oh, those
very
look good
big
on
head.
you, yeah.
What?
Those look good on you.
Oh, do they?
Yeah,
Let's see,
I like it.
Yeah, instant upgrade.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, before we let you go, how much? Some people in chat room wanted to know how much of the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Do you have a price?
Call of Duty you can find at Best Buy. It's actually a Best Buy exclusive at $79.99. And again, limited edition, so get out and get it while it's still out there because it's we didn't make that many of them, and it's definitely a hot item.
Joe, thanks so much for joining us. If people want to learn more about these, find out where to order them, where do they go?
Gunners.com.
GUNNARS.com. Excellent. Thank you so much for
Thanks,
joining
guys.
us.
Thanks for having me on.
It's great to have you. All right, we're going to move along here to another guest live from CES 2012. Tom, Merritt, and Alex Lindsay with you. Hey, having a good show?
I am having a good show. I'm trying to figure out what the trends are. You know, like you're looking at all this stuff. So how does this all fit in? I was over at the Eye Lounge yesterday, and one of the things that I thought was really interesting is with a couple different manufacturers. I started discussing with them why is there so much iPhone paraphernalia and almost no Android paraphernalia. And I think we can kind of guess on this, but 4 of them said exactly the same thing.
Which was?
Number 1. Apple doesn't change the form factor very often. The shelf life on an Android phone is much shorter as far as its sales shelf life. So by the time we get it organized, it's gone. You know, and so that's number 1. Number 2, the market is far more fragmented. There's a lot more Android devices, but there's 1,000 of them instead of 1.
You can't make one for one model of phone. You have to make one that works for many models or make many different versions. So, yeah.
And number 3 is that their experience so far has been that Apple users are more willing to spend money on adding all this crazy stuff to their phone
I guess
than
that's
Android
true,
users.
yeah.
And so those are the 3 things. And it was and I didn't ask them those. I didn't pose those to them. They just started listing them off.
Yeah.
They'd talk about other things, but those are the 3 that showed up on all 4 of those conversations. It's very interesting.
All right, we got our next guest here, Matthew. Is that right?
Yes, Matthew Shoemake.
And nice to meet you, Matthew. Thanks for coming. You're from Biscotti, I see.
I am. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
I got some coffee.
Good.
I'm ready to.
I've got a Biscotti.
I bet you never get those jokes.
No. I tell people
It had to be done.
Please don't dunk your Biscotti in coffee.
That's
right?
a good idea.
This is not that Biscotti.
So tell us about the Biscotti. What is this?
So Biscotti. So we've invented a high definition TV phone. So this is the Biscotti TV phone. If you open the box, this is our Biscotti, and immediately you can see why it is named a Biscotti, because it's exactly the size and shape of the Italian cookie, the
Right.
Biscotti, but again, it's not a cookie.
Now, did you design? Do you have the name before the shape, or the shape before the name?
We designed before the name. We tried to make it so small that what happened, we made it so small, you can see it in my hand how small it is. We made it so small we had trouble describing verbally how small it was, and one day I just said, you know what, it's the same size and shape as a Biscotti, and it stuck. The rest is history.
Right.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So the Biscotti TV phone has a high definition camera built in. You mount it on the top of your TV, and on the back it has HDMI inputs and outputs that you connect to your TV to turn your TV into a high definition TV phone. So you can call other people on their high definition television. We've also built in Google interoperability, so you can call Android phones and tablets and even iPhones and iPads by downloading applications.
So how do you make a call to someone who doesn't have a Biscotti? If they have an Android phone, do they have to install one of your apps?
Absolutely. If I dig a little deeper, well, we're going to need our handy and simple 6-button remote control. So what I would do is I would press the button on my remote control. It would bring up a menu system right on screen. And for example, if I've got a friend, let's say named John, and he's john@gmail.com, I would go right into the menu system and I'd send him a request right on screen to john@gmail.com. He would receive that, and he would accept. We'd be connected, and they would call each other.
So he doesn't have to install anything on his end?
He doesn't have to install anything. He can use his standard Android phone or Gmail account. We also have interoperability. There are about 3 million Google Apps accounts where people associate their own domain, but they use Google services, and we interoperate with those as well.
So you're using the browser then on that end, or you're just using GTalk?
So on the Google side, it can be any Google device that interoperates with Google Voice and Video from a browser to an Android.
So like
phone.
a Google Hangout, you could do a Google Plus Hangout.
We're not doing Google Plus Hangouts yet, but we do have the ability to download new software features in the future. In fact, we're doing that about twice a month right now, so we're always adding new features for our customers, and those are some on the roadmap.
Now the HD out 720p or 1080p?
720p for the video call. Will pass through 1080, so we won't do any harm to the TV show that you're watching. In fact, you may be wondering, why are there 2 HDMI connectors? Well, one is an input and one is an output. So you take your cable or satellite box and run into the input. The output goes to your TV, so you can just watch TV like normal. And when a call comes in, we'll put an overlay on the screen that says, "Hey, your brother from Tennessee is calling." So you don't have to
So you're not
switch.
dependent at all on whatever TV someone has. It doesn't matter whether they have DNLA or any of those other things. It's just as long as they have an HDMI in.
That's all you need.
You're taking over, and that web call and that interface and everything else is created by your device and overlaying over the video.
It is. All you need, we have Wi-Fi built in. You need Wi-Fi internet connection, and you need a TV with an HDMI input, and that's it. So you don't have to buy a new TV. You can just get a Biscotti TV phone, and you're off and away. High definition video calls.
Now, if I want to, for instance, put this on top and have a HDMI go to something else, like a recorder or anything else, is that HDMI still capturing that video? Or does it have to work with a TV?
So so all we need, you can do, the input is optional. The output needs to go to the TV, but you can run whatever you want into the input. It can be your set-top box, It can be your recorder, it can be an audio-video HD receiver as well. So a lot of combinations there.
How much is it going to run?
Oh, so it costs $199, but here's the kicker. There's no monthly fee. It uses your current internet connection,
Well,
so
there
we don't
ought
charge
to
any
be.
monthly fees. exactly. You can call anywhere in the world.
So anything, you just have your Wi-Fi and it's just connected.
That's it. So all of the audio and video runs through the internet. So just use your current broadband internet connection, and we use Wi-Fi to make it very convenient. I know maybe some people here at CES may have pulled Ethernet through their house, but a lot of Americans haven't. But a lot of Americans do have Wi-Fi, so we made it very convenient with Wi-Fi.
And you don't find that degrades the video? Because we whenever we have guests on Skype, for instance, on our shows, we always say you really need to be plugged in because the video quality suffers over Wi-Fi.
We worked really hard. My background is actually in Wi-Fi. I spent a lot of time. I was the chairman of 802.11g, one of the big Wi-Fi standards, and so we worked really hard to make sure that the video quality is good over the wireless connection as well. It's not easy. Took us some time, but it looks good over the Wi-Fi connection.
And the other thing is, a lot of times it's a because your computer is tempted to do a lot of other things. Part of it is that the reason you always need to have that hard connection is to make sure you're getting full, because it might be running email or web or whatever. And so when it's only doing one thing, I think that it's really focused on that.
Absolutely, it's more of an appliance. There's no PC to turn on. The Biscotti, if you're looking, it doesn't even have an on-off switch on it. It's more akin to your cell phone. It always tries to stay connected to Wi-Fi and always tries to stay connected to the network, so you can.
And you're using this controller to then, for instance, put your SSID into here to attach it to your Wi-Fi.
right on screen. So for example, your home network, what you would do is you would go in and it would say, you would have a list just like on your PC or cell phone. You pick from the list. If you have security turned on, we put a little keyboard right up on the screen. You put in your password and you're off and away.
Great.
Are you worried about the new thin LG TV that you can't set it as easily on top?
No. I did see
the
those
4mm thin.
Those TVs are amazing.
Those aren't shipping for a while.
They're not shipping for a while. We'll sit on a TV that has about a half-inch ledge.
Okay.
And for those that are thinner, we have some things in the works, but we'll be announcing those later.
You got some time to catch up.
We do. We got a little time.
When's the availability of the Biscotti?
It's available now.
Oh,
so
great.
you can purchase it on Biscotti.com, Biscotti.com, just like the cookie. And it's been shipping since November, so it's brand new. It's available for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and so we're shipping out. And just for people at CES or that might be listening to us here, there's a special code, CES 2012. If you put that in, you'll get free shipping through this week through Friday.
That's great. $199. Is that right?
$199. That's it.
Thank you so much for coming and talking to us about the Biscotti. It's great having you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here.
All right.
Thank you.
Pretty cool little device.
It's really cool. I want one. Have you?
Throw one at him as he's leaving.
Very interesting. But I think that this has been a thing. Like when we talk about Apple TV or the iTV or whatever, we're always talking about. To me, that one of the big things that Apple would add is this kind of functionality into a TV.
Right.
And this is it. But that's the kind of functionality.
There's always that argument, and we talk about this with internet connections for TVs, like for streaming. Do you want a box or do you want it built into the TV? Because the danger of having it built into the TV is if it becomes outdated, it doesn't work so well, you have to get a whole new TV. Whereas something like this, you just upgrade to the newest version.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
And replace it.
I think as long as that integration really works.
All right, joining us now from Live View is it Ken Zemkow.
Yep.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, Tom.
How's it going?
Or
to see you again, I guess. Yeah, exactly.
Good to see you too.
I'm used to strangers coming up, but we of course.
So I guess even if I look at someone, I still need to.
Lean into it.
Like
They're not very sensitive.
Cool.
Yeah.
Are we live right now?
We are absolutely live.
Right.
We are live streaming, chat room saying hey, and you've got the newest Live View there, which is a marvel. We used that the other night. I think it's Showstoppers, and I had a hard time finding it. Hilton, our cameraman, I was like, where is it? He just had it right there on the corner. Tell us about the new one.
Sure. So this is the new Live View LU40. As you guys know, until now we were known as the backpack company. So we had the
I have one of those backpacks.
Yep. And you've had all of them. You had the original SD unit. Now you have the LU60, which is the HD unit.
Yeah, this is what we're streaming.
What's that?
We're streaming over Live View right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This show is being streamed via Live View right now, and so now we released our new LU40. As you can see, it's much smaller form factor. So no longer a backpack. You just carry it on your belt. I showed how easy you can carry it the other day. And basically you have all the touch controls here still. So it's the same thing. Yeah, you can see.
There we go.
You still have all the same controls. You still have the touch screen.
So there's a little PC in there.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so now
is it running on? I mean, what
it's running on Linux. So this is a
Okay.
Linux-based machine. It does very much the same thing that the bigger backpack does. So it bonds together multiple cell phone connections. So we bond a number of 3G and 4G connections together. So we work on Verizon, Sprint, AT&T, T-Mobile. We have, again, 3G and 4G. And the idea is that you take all the bandwidth on all those carriers together to get a much broader pipe, and also to get more stability and resiliency, so that even if some carriers don't always have perfect signal, you can still continue the transmission.
Which is often.
What's that? Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
But here, you know, we've been walking around with this, with the LU40 for the past couple of days. So, Tom, like you said, we went to Showstoppers. We were here on the floor yesterday, and we got great signal, largely thanks to the 4G capabilities of the device.
Yeah, I mean, I know that with the 60, which is what we're using now for a lot of our productions, is that we consider that. I mean, we have, knock on wood, you know, we know that signal will work. You know, and that's the one thing we rely on with LiveView, is knowing that we have a super stable system, and we're looking at other systems and playing with lots of stuff, but we come back to, we need to know that when we turn it on, it's going to, you know, it's actually going to get connected, you know, and because that's, you know, and now how would you compare something like this to, for instance, like a Teradek Bond, you know, box?
Sure. So the whole idea behind our technology is that you bond together. Like you said, it's a bonding solution, so that you don't have to rely on one connection. You don't have to rely on one Wi-Fi or one 3G or one 4G connection, because you never know if that's going to drop. And if you do have only that one connection and all of a sudden something happens and you don't have that connectivity, then your video will stop. It will freeze or it will drop. And that's why we recommend the bonding option, because it lets you keep going even when some of those connections are not available. You know, so we think this is a better option than using just one connection.
You have HDMI in, you also have SDI in?
Yeah, so this is actually a swappable card over here at the top. So you can actually remove this video card and you can use HDMI, SDI, composite, and so on.
Now, what's the specs on the inside? So people in the chat room are wondering, you know, if you can tell what kind of processor or storage device. And
yeah, I mean, so this is a device that we developed. So, you know, it's not going to have any any kind of components that you might know from other solutions. But as mentioned, it is running off of Linux. And maybe, you know, why don't I show you what it's, you know, kind of the guts a little bit. It's not going to be the computer itself, but it'll be the modem. So I'll remove it out of the case. So this is what it looks like outside of the case. And this would be a good opportunity to also talk about the differences between the LU60 and the LU40. So, you know, if I remove, and usually this is screwed on, but I can actually remove this lid now, and this is where you see the modems. So these are 4 USB modems that we have inside here. And
those are user swappable then? If if
user
5G comes along, I can pop that in.
And more importantly, not more importantly, but also if you're going into some, we do a lot of stuff in other countries. If you're going to those other countries, it's not an engineering process, as we have talked about with some of the other ones.
This is not kind of a hypothetical question.
Yeah, it's not a hypothetical question. It's not an engineering problem. It's just I pop it off, I get the local ones, I pop them back in, I shut it, and I'm good to go.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yep. And you know, this is a good opportunity to talk about the differences between the LU60 and the LU40. So, as you know, in the LU60, we have our own proprietary antenna and our own modules, so we don't run off of USB sticks over there. And that's kind of maybe the differentiating point between the two devices. So the LU60 is still going to stay kind of the higher end solution. It's going to have more modems, a stronger antenna, more processing power. But the LU40 is just so portable and so nice to carry around that it'll pack most of that functionality, most of the features in a just much smaller form factor.
So the LU60 is still the backpack side.
The LU60 is still back. Oh, there you go. It's back. Yeah. Yeah, so that's the 60. So that's the difference between the two devices. You know, I'm very happy about this. You know, I travel a lot with all of our devices, so you know, there's much nicer to carry through an airport and so on. So
well, and for a production crew, it's also a lot less expensive. We pay for every bag and all the stuff that we're checking in and out.
Right.
And it's a big deal for us to be able to have something that we can throw in our bag rather than something much larger.
Now, and it still works the same way as the backpack. You have an endpoint point that you're sending to at the other end. Everything else is the same for live view.
I mean, it's largely the same. We have a couple of new functions. So now we have what we call the Multimedia Hub, where you can easily control, if you have a number of units, you can easily control all of them remotely.
Well, that's great.
I mean, we have that functionality with the LU60 as well, but it's kind of one-to-one. Basically, you control every unit individually. Now you can have your own sort of control center where you see all of your units and you can kind of adjust all the settings on all of them. So we have a number of new features.
At something like CES, that's what we're always looking for is, how can we have several people in the field and go from one to the other elegantly? Because, the problem with the internet is delay and lag, and that sounds like the perfect solution. I want to thank you guys for all the cooperation you've given us and the ability to do the stream. I mean, we've got so many compliments on our stage stream this year, and it's because of you that they can see it. So we appreciate it.
Cool. Well, thank you guys for using LiveView. We're very happy to work with you guys. So.
And if people are out there interested in obtaining a LiveView for whatever enterprise they're in, where do they go to find one, and how much do they run?
Sure. So you can reach us to our website, liveview.tv. So that's the word live, then the letter U.tv. Prices, I've kind of been telling people the rough price. It's not shipping yet. You guys were the first ones to use it.
Oh, wow.
This was a debut, public transmission.
He didn't want to tell you that you were the guinea pig before you went out there.
It's a blind test.
It's not shipping yet. It's starting to ship very soon, probably in the next couple of months. So prices will be announced. I don't want to, be quoted live on the rates,
no,
but
I understand.
they'll be lower than the LU60.
Okay, that's great. Ken, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Alex.
it.
Thanks, Alex.
Take care.
I can't believe how small that thing is.
Yes,
I mean,
amazing.
I seriously, when
we're gonna be, and I just know that you see this progression, and it's so exciting for production units like ours, where you just go, you know that in another couple years, it'll be down to we attach this little thing to the back. Yeah, we have something in our pocket.
Think about what this is compared to the computers we had in the 90s, right?
We were discussing it because we were figuring out what the speed was, and we realized that this iPhone is twice as fast as the computer I use to render Star Wars shots for Star Wars Episode 1.
You could render Star Wars.
You could render Star Wars on an iPhone.
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy. All right, next guest joining us is Eric Polonen.
Pretty good.
Sennheiser? Is it? Did I get it right?
Yeah, you
wow.
got it.
Oh, thank you.
It doesn't happen often, so I appreciate
shot
that.
in the dark. Oh, I'm glad. I was a pure guess. Welcome to the show, Eric. Great
Thank you very
to
much.
have you. Sennheiser headphones are some of my favorite headphones, so I'm very happy to see you. What do you got to show us today?
So, this is our CES 2012 Innovations Award winner. This is the RS220. It's a digital wireless headphone. Great thing about this is it gets audio from point A to B without compressing it. So, yes, there's a lot of data coming down that pipe, but technology has finally caught up, and we're able to get a wired sound out of a wireless headphone.
Now, what kind of technology are you using to transmit?
It's a DSSS, and it stands for Direct Sequence Spread Spectrum. Lots of S's there, lots of alliteration, but again, it's very impressive technology that allows us to get 8 hours of operating time at full bandwidth.
Is that a Sennheiser technology, or is it a standard?
It is not a Sennheiser technology, but what we do is, aside from being a wireless leader in the market for wireless microphones and headphones, we do look for other companies to partner with that have expertise in delivering full fidelity audio, and this has been a great partnership for us.
And what's the price for a headphone like this?
It is $5.99.
$5.99. That's a bargain.
That's a bargain, yeah. I'll clarify that. $599 before I lose my job.
And this is really for an audiophile who doesn't want to be tied to the... No, and what's the range?
The range indoors up to 100 feet.
That's
line of
that's
sight
great.
if you go indoors up to 300 feet.
No, that's great.
Now, so people in the audience who are looking at this understand, how do you connect it to your system?
Fantastic. So I was hoping you'd ask that.
Yeah.
There's a wide range of digital inputs and outputs.
Wow, really.
And as well as analog inputs and outputs. The great thing about that is you can connect it to basically anything in your hi-fi stack, your high-resolution DVD player or Blu-ray player, television. You can also feed other components too. So if you only have one output in your TV or your Blu-ray player, that's okay. You can still feed your receiver and keep it in the loop.
Now, I assume that, in fact, I see the DC outlet, so that plugs in. How does it charge the headphones? Is it charged when it's sitting in the cradle?
Yeah, there's two conductors right here. And the headphone actually has the batteries inside, so when you're done with the headphones, simply place them on the charging cradle, and they begin charging automatically all by themselves.
What do you think, Alex?
I like it.
I can tell.
I want. Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
I can't wait to get one myself.
I want one myself. Yeah, it's great. And that's always, the thing is you get them all tangled up and you can't figure out where they are. And then again, you want to watch TV or you want to, have that whole experience, and you're constantly, how far can I extend this? And the other thing is that once you start having those long wires, you get them anywhere near power, now you're getting buzz and you're getting other things like that. And so
eliminate that from the equation. And again, wireless has finally caught up where you can have a wireless headphone that sounds like a wired headphone. It used to be a compromise.
Sound like FM.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. I mean, that's
you
what
want wireless sound, you have to trade off something else. Was it comfort? Was it size? What was it? Now you get it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so audiophiles, the folks out there who are converting their music to FLAC and doing all those uncompressed file formats, absolutely going to love this. I wish I could get a chance to hear them right now. Unfortunately, we don't.
We'll have to work on that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We brought this pair here, a demo display unit. We do have one active at the booth, so of course, if you get some time to come on by, come
we'll
check
swing
it out.
by, definitely. Now, you got a couple other headphones to tell us about as well?
Yes, it's been a very exciting show for us. So another exciting launch for us was the Hd25 Amperior. This is based on our legendary DJ and production headphone, the Hd25. What we did was optimize the electronics on the inside for use with Apple's series of devices. As you know, an iPhone and iPad, they have a pretty low output as far as volume goes for the headphones. So you have to use a very efficient headphone in order to make up for that. The Apple series of products, of course, they're ubiquitous. They're everywhere.
Yeah, right.
So we said, how can we get the best possible sound out of an iPad, an iPhone, an iPod by plugging directly in? No enhancements, no amplifiers, no battery-powered circuits. What can we do to really plug in and take advantage of simplicity?
So this isn't something you have to charge or plug in or anything like that.
Just plug it in and listen.
Yeah.
And
it would work on any device. It's got a standard connection.
Absolutely,
It's just
standard
optimized.
plug here.
Yeah.
And then we do include the proverbial inline remote and microphone, which you can of course attach
Very nice.
at your will.
So you
have-
can take
do you
calls
have,
while you're
track
spinning.
Yep.
Absolutely. So you can, of course, use the center button to skip forward in a playlist, skip backwards, raise and lower your volume, answer a call. But you can do it all with one headphone. And although all-in-one headphones or headsets are not new, this level of sound quality is absolutely brand new.
Absolutely.
How much do these run?
These will be $349.
And available when?
Available in March.
In March, okay.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I take a look?
Absolutely. And take note, too, if you feel the outside, it's a real aluminum coating. So these are built to last. Everything on this headphone is actually replaceable in the field by the end consumer as well.
These I probably could plug in and take a listen to.
You can certainly undo the twist ties, too, if you like, but
I'm going to...
What's the price on these?
$349.
$349.
Yep. Global 2-year warranty. Anywhere
Shipping in
the world.
March.
I missed that part. I was so obsessed. I was looking at it. I was like, oh, the shiny thing over here.
Shiny. A lot of shiny here at CES.
Wow. I've never heard my iPhone sound that
It's a
that
pretty
loud.
Yeah. And that good. You can get loud out of an
And good,
iPhone, but
too.
you have to compromise something else, typically sound quality. Here you have volume to spare as well as sound quality.
I can't hear a word you're saying.
I was complimenting your suit. No, what I was telling him before was that you typically you could get volume, but usually at the expense of sound quality. Now you can have both, and as you mentioned, the isolation is fantastic. That's totally passive. No batteries required.
Well, yeah, when I go jogging, I just use little white earbuds that came with the thing, and they're always falling out of it. So when I listen to this on headphones, that's what I'm used to hearing, which is horrible sound, and you have to crank it all the way up just to get any kind of decent sound. That's very impressive.
We said, what can we do to make it, both high quality and convenient without sacrificing something else?
What do you think?
It's great.
Yeah.
It's really, really good
That
sound.
There's a lot of headphone companies here, as you've seen. A lot of them want you to wear the headphones around your neck. We think they sound best on your ears, actually.
Yeah. And what's the last model you got with?
So the last one is our, this is a very exciting and brand new addition to our lineup. It's called the HD700. This is $999, $1 short of $1,000, again, to clarify. This is a reference headphone. This is designed for audiophiles, but also mixing and mastering engineers. We find a lot of audiophiles, they have either a top-end headphone or a pretty good headphone, but they're looking for something else, something more that they can go to time and time again. This will replace a lot of speakers for many audiophiles. Take a look.
Plug it in. I don't have an adapter.
I don't have an adapter on me either. I didn't know we were going to actually show it live, but...
We don't have a quarter to eighth inch laying around, do we?
Yeah, actually.
Now, the
no, I have the
impedance
opposite.
on that is a bit heavier, so most folks will want to connect it to a high-end AV receiver or headphone amplifier.
So it's really giving you that whole air around. You know, it's like it's
Exactly. Now, the design is intended to be very speaker-like, but of course, so you can listen privately.
You can just plug it into our,
Yeah, you can plug
our
it directly
monitor right
it
here.
won't really test it, I don't think. But
Well, it won't give you. I'll sing. I'll sing for you.
Okay, sing for me. Hold on.
Yeah. All right. Here you go.
I can't sing for you.
Well,
But
I can tell you that Tom, you
Yeah.
sound great.
Thank you,
sound
Alex.
really great. I mean, that's all I hear.
Yeah. Let me,
the transducers themselves are angled, so the sound comes at you from somewhat of a 45-degree angle. It simulates speakers.
Oh well,
All right,
and of
Tom.
cour's I'm used to this little tiny thing in
Switch
my
them
ear,
around so
too.
you get the left and the right. There you go.
All right, I'm on backwards.
So now you have the transducers are aligned with your ears. It sounds like you're sitting in front of speakers, kind of like. But
It does.
of course,
It sounds very full. Like
Yes.
like it's
Yeah, it
not
really
in
does.
your head. It's all around you. It's all
And when listening to your favorite tracks or creating a master to go out for distribution, what you want to do is make sure you have all the phase alignment, but also you can pick out where the instruments are within the mix.
And I could hear everything that's coming over this mic in there.
Yeah.
There was no loss of the quality.
So again, critical listening, whether for production or
Yeah.
for enjoyment. That's the
fantastic.
goal there.
And how much do these run?
$9.99, $1,000.
Yeah, just short of 1,000, and available
Available in March.
in March as well.
nothing
Thank
but the best for you, Tom.
Yes, I will be ordering. I'll have Leo buy me several sets.
Exactly.
I absolutely love those.
That'll be part of the next contract.
The iPhone headphones as well. Thank you so much for joining us, Eric.
Yes, thank you
Appreciate
for having
coming
us.
by.
This is great.
It's great to see Sennheiser stuff. I love Sennheiser headphones, and it looks like you got some amazing products coming
I
out.
appreciate that. Thanks very much for your time.
All right,
Appreciate
cheers.
it.
Have a great show.
You too. Thank you.
Alex, are you're gonna buy me some headphones?
What?
You gonna buy me some headphones?
Let me work on it. I'll crunch the numbers.
I like the build of these as well. I mean,
it's
they're
a really high quality
good
build,
looking
and it's
headphones
not.
as well.
You can tell. I mean, they're fashionable, but it's not like it's not form over function. Like you really get that.
Sound
You're really
first.
getting a.
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
you see so many headphones, and they all look cool, but you really with the Sennheiser. I mean, we've been using them for so long. You just know that what you're going to get is the quality you need.
All right, let's
Sound
take a
first.
quick break and thank our sponsor for our CES coverage. This episode brought to you by Ford, featuring the all-electric and hybrid electric technologies.
Great, thank you.
2 new vehicles Ford bringing electric technologies to. One announced right here at CES. Of course, you know about the 2012 Ford Focus Electric. We've been telling you that for a while. A great car.
Thanks, Ian.
You can reserve that one now. The 2013 C-Max Energi plug-in hybrid is the new one. Both models make use of regenerative braking. They say you can capture back 90% of the kinetic energy lost in a conventional engine due to heat friction. So the system just sends that energy back to the battery and extends the range. Also includes unique sync with My Ford Touch EV features, suite of driver information services, so you can monitor the charging, manage that recharge process to get as much out of it as you possibly can, and even determine the most eco-friendly driving route if you want. Remotely control the vehicle charge. So if you're trying to remember, oh wait a minute, did I set it up right? Did I make this setting? You can do it right from your phone with a unique execution of sync with My Ford Touch Driver Connect technology. It's optimized for electric driving for configuring that vehicle information, such as your fuel level for the hybrid, your battery power level, and your average and instant miles per gallon. Then the My Ford mobile smartphone app can access vehicle status, such as the state of the charge, the current range, so you know if you have enough to get home, if you're going to need to plug it in while you're at work. And additionally, the 2012 Ford Focus Electric, all-electric vehicle without a gasoline engine, fully charges in 3 to 4 hours through a 240-volt home charging station. It's 100% electric, zero emissions. If your state has that ability to get into that carpool lane, if you have a zero-emission vehicle, this is the thing to use. New battery technology also enables a topping-off charge without reducing the lifespan of the battery. You don't have to worry about whether you're charging it right or not. If you want to learn more about either the 2012 Ford Focus Electric, which is available for reservations now, or the 2013 Ford C-Max Energi, E-N-E-R-G-I plug-in hybrid, that's coming in the fall 2013. Go to Ford.com/technology, and we thank Ford for their support of our coverage of CES 2012. Onward to more stuff. We are having a blast here. Thursday, technically Wait a minute. Is this day 2, 3? I can't remember, Alex.
It's day 3.
I've been here since Saturday.
I know. It's day 3 of the actual
But
expo.
the show started on Tuesday.
Yes.
So this is day 3 of the show. All right. And we got to see each other out on the floor. Was it a digital experience?
Yeah, we were at the PepCom.
Greg Duffy from Dropcam. Good to see you again, man.
Good to see you too.
So you're making good on your promise. You said you'd bring the new Dropcam by.
We really wanted to give TWiT an upgrade because everyone at the office watches the Brickhouse cam all the time.
That's great.
We don't want to see this low resolution stuff anymore. We want HD.
And you don't have to because you built a new camera. Tell us
That's
about
right.
the new Dropcam.
Yeah, this thing is actually the first hardware that we've ever produced. So you remember the previous hardware was based on the Axis camera. So we decided to take control of the entire thing, and we made the Dropcam HD. So this thing is 720p, 30 frames per second, and it doesn't use more bandwidth than the old Dropcam.
That's what was amazing to me when you were telling us about it the other night. Is you're able to squeeze an HD signal over Wi-Fi using the same bandwidth that you used before. How do you make that happen?
So we actually really spent a lot of time on the video encoder and optimizing it for Dropcam viewing use cases. So instead of making it like a video encoder that encodes Harry Potter, we make it a video encoder that encodes stuff going on in a room, and that gives us a lot of margin to work with. Where we can make the video encoding a lot more efficient. So there's a new chip inside the Dropcam. And there's a lot of new software around the video encoder that makes that possible. It's a really powerful chip. So the Dropcam HD also has night vision. So this is probably the coolest thing ever. I'm not sure if we want
at the brick house or not. It's a cool thing, though.
The good news is that you can disable it if you want privacy.
Okay, good.
So,
yeah. But no, that's great for people using it in a security situation or something like that.
Yeah, and the really interesting thing is that, most night vision cameras, the ones that have infrared, you can see these LEDs poking out of the front, and it's not really friendly for the home, which is our that's where our users really are. So we actually hid those infrared LEDs behind the front plastic, which is pretty crazy. So this plastic is actually transparent to infrared, but it looks opaque to the human eye.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah. So a couple more things. This also has two-way audio. So not only can you hear what's going on like you can on the Dropcam Echo, but you can also talk back. So this is great for, yelling at your kids to do their homework when they're watching TV after school, yelling at your dog just so that you can confuse them and get some fun.
There's a lot of yelling going on,
It's a
drop kick cam.
It's a very loud speaker, so pretty much you're going to be yelling no matter what you like.
This is kind of this is your in your network, your conference system. Now, can you go? It works in the LAN. Can you connect two of these via WAN?
That's right. So just like the old Dropcam, these are powered by our cloud service, which actually you get our basic cloud service for free, which means live viewing from any of the iPhone app, Android app, PC, Mac, and even on PC and Mac, no software to install. You get live viewing for free from anywhere in the world. So, and no additional network configuration to make that happen. That's the beauty of it. You can set this thing up in 2 minutes. All you need is your Wi-Fi password, and then you can view it from anywhere in the world.
Now, that's great. How do you manage the security of that so that you're not everybody's viewing your house from everywhere?
Yeah, right. This was especially important because you're putting a Dropcam inside your home.
Right.
And actually, one of the products that we're actually replacing with Dropcam HD are all these, analog video baby monitors.
Right.
Nobody wants those anymore after Dropcam HD. Now, those you can actually snoop on, and this is a big security problem that gets written about in the media all the time. The Dropcam encrypts every bit of video that comes out with TLS or SSL, encryption. So every bit of video. And that means that there's no way for anybody to access that video, even if your Wi-Fi network is not secure. So even on an open Wi-Fi network, all the video is still secure.
That's great.
Yeah,
right. That's fantastic.
And then if you use the DVR service, if you pay for it, you have the ability to go through and find the things that are recorded.
That's right.
How long do you guys keep that for?
So our Plus plan is the most popular plan, and we actually have a pricing update for that as well. The first camera is still $9.95 a month, but the second camera and any additional cameras are only $4.95 a month. So we used to charge $9.95 per camera, so now we're giving you 50% off. We also have annual plans that get you 2 months free. So if you buy a whole year of service, then you get 2 months free. That means $99 for the first camera and $49 for the.
And when it's doing the
additional.
DVR, what is it recording?
So The Dropcam Plus plan always records the last 7 days of video. So at any given time, you can go back 7 days, and we actually show you where the important moments are in the video through motion and audio event detection. So you don't
you
have
come
to
home
sit
and
through
everything's
all of it.
gone.
That's right.
Including the Dropcam.
Including
I think
the
that's the
Dropcam.
thing that's important, is that
Yeah.
because it's on the cloud, you know, they finally realized that there was a Dropcam up there, and okay, we'll take that camera, and they're not going to be. It's that like that scene in the Heist where they're trying to get into things. There's nothing to beat into because it's in the cloud. It's gone.
Alex, are you actually looking for a sales position? Because like,
I'm really excited. So the reason that I'm excited about Dropcam is because I have been going through cameras. I bought a whole bunch of these cameras, and they all suck. And so the thing is that I have gone through one after another, and now I'm looking at this, and I'm like, this is what I've been wanting to put, around my house. I don't want it to be super complicated, and the way I logged into it didn't really work. And we've used them in our office. We're in Pixel Core, which is sharing space with DV Garage. We put them in our old. We've had some, D-Links, and we've had all these other things, and none of them have worked very well.
Well, the great thing is anywhere you have an electric outlet, or can run an electric cord too, you can put that because it's wireless.
Anyway, it's
looks
been
good.
one failure after another for 4 or 5 years, and so I'm just excited because I know it works. I know the little one works there, and I'm just excited about playing this one.
Your days are numbered, buddy. We got the old one up there.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Well, there's still more cool stuff. So you're talking about AC power. So we do include an AC power adapter for this camera, but it's actually an AC to USB adapter because the entire Dropcam, which by the way is just this big, it has a micro USB port on it for power. So you can actually power it with the battery. And some of these little USB batteries will power it for 10 hours.
And this is mini. This is
it's a micro USB.
Micro USB.
Yeah. So anything that'll power a USB device will power the Dropcam now. So that gives you very flexible power options. You can use it as a battery backup, kind of like a UPS for your computer, except it lasts for 10 hours, for the Dropcam. And you can use it for mobile streaming if you got a MiFi or something like that. You want to connect it up.
That's fantastic.
So now, if you want to connect this, how is it? What kind of stream is it? An RTMP stream, or is
it? We stream multiple protocols through the cloud to all of the viewing devices because on the iPhone you got to do something different than on the Flash viewer for the web. Right. So all that's taken care of for you by the Dropcam service.
How much do the new HD cameras run?
Yeah, that's the amazing part. I saved that for last.
Yeah.
So you remember the Dropcam Echo was $279.
Right.
The Dropcam HD with 720p, night vision, two-way audio, you got the solid aluminum base. It's $149.
You've been taking presentation tips from Steve Jobs, haven't you? That was well done.
One more thing.
Yeah. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for coming by, Greg. It's good to see you again, and we love the Dropcam. I can't wait to get the new one set up.
We really love TWiT. We appreciate the support so much, and we just are enamored with both of you guys and your listener base. They're really nice people.
Likewise. Yeah. Everybody in the chat room is excited about this as well. So
all right, great.
Hopefully they'll pick up a few more Dropcams. Thanks again.
All right, thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
All right, we got a couple more guests coming our way as we plow through to 1 o'clock. What's coming up at 1 o'clock, Eileen? What's coming up at 1? Before you buy. Oh, we're going to run our first before you buy, or not our first, but our first from CES. That's great. All right, so we're moving along here, and our next guest is coming on up from Yale Locks. Jason Williams is going to join us. Yale Locks. Not Harvard Locks, Alex.
No. Yale. Leo's a Yale man.
He is a Yaley. He has the manners of a Yaley, as they say on The Simpsons. But I think this has to do with NFC, if I'm not mistaken. If people in the audience
I'm
are
also
like,
very excited about this one.
Why are you bringing up a lock? Hey, Jason, nice of you to join us. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us today.
Well, thanks for having me on the show, guys. Appreciate it.
I don't think people in our audience expected us to have a door lock.
That's what I was thinking. You probably haven't had too many on the show yet.
No. This is a first for us. So tell us why you're at the Consumer Electronics Show with this.
Well, first off, Yale is part of Asablo, which is the largest manufacturer of door hardware in the world. And late last year, we launched a new line of digital door locks here for your home. And the cool part is I've got a capacitive touchscreen on here. So we feel like it fits with kind of the overall nature of the show.
Yeah.
And then we're now taking it one step further.
That looks so science fiction.
It does, right?
That's great.
And then you can kind of hide the keypad if you don't want to, it looks good on the front door still. But what we did was took it one step further, and we've added NFC technology into the lock. So now you can use your cell phone as kind of a card like you would in an office building to get into your home. So it's very simple to use. We've got applications that we've created for BlackBerry Droids, iPhones, and essentially all you do is you select the key here on the phone, and it'll give you about 30 seconds to go in and basically present the phone to the lock here, and it's going to read it, and it's going to unlock your door for you.
Now, is it a code lock otherwise that you program?
It would operate just like a regular code lock too. So you've got multiple credentials here, and so today, while people aren't all running around with NFC phones, other folks can still get into your lock.
That's really cool. Do it again. Everybody wants to see.
All right, I'll do it one more time.
You got to watch this.
Reset it here. So again, it's simple as selecting the key here. You present the phone to the lock.
Oh, and we can't see the other side. Yeah, tilt it that way so you can see the bolt.
Oh, right, gotcha.
Yeah, because that's the cool part. You just hold the phone up to the lock.
It did something funky.
It's hard
while we were turning.
Usually when you come there, it did it.
It
worked.
It's near field communication, so you do have to get it pretty close to the lock.
And usually you're going to be walking up to your door instead of reaching around.
That's right.
Now, in addition to this, is this connected to your Wi-Fi system for the programmability?
You have some options to do that. Yeah, we're actually in the Z-Wave Alliance booth behind us, so there are some RF options that you could put this as part of a home control or home security system.
Are there certain systems that it works with specifically?
Yeah, there are. So in the Z-Wave world, there's a lot of different systems. Zigbee, there's folks like Control 4 that it'll work with. On the NFC side, we're actually displaying our product up in the Verizon booth as well. So we work with a variety of partners.
What's the availability?
The availability of our lock today, you can actually go buy it. You can buy it with Z-Wave or Zigbee or just kind of standalone keyless entry lock. Places like Amazon.com and also through some professionally installed channels. The NFC, though, is going to be later down the road this year, and we're really waiting to commercialize this thing until more NFC phones are available to the marketplace.
And what's the price roughly? I'm sure there's different ranges.
Yeah. So its base cost, this lock is about $200, up to $275 for a Z-Wave version and $400 for a Zigbee version.
Okay. Fantastic. Jason, thanks so much for stopping by. It's great,
All right, gentlemen,
great to meet you.
appreciate it.
It's a cool
Likewise.
looking lock.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now that's the kind of thing I haven't seen enough of at CES. Where
there's a whole booth over here, the Z-Wave Alliance right here. So this is another one of those things that I've been kind of, in addition to those little cameras, I've been trying to figure out how I'm going to eliminate keys in my life.
Oh, I wish I could have asked them. It's a good question from the chat room. Will it log entries?
So I can probably answer that. What they're selling is the end product.
Right.
So when you work with what he was kind of intimating
is
there's all these home automations that you can open. You can not only will it log entry, but most of these will allow you to create windows. Say, I'm going to create a code 3467 that someone can use between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. this afternoon so that someone can drop something off or someone can come in.
But after that,
that code disappears again. Yeah. So a lot of that stuff is all available right now.
Got to take a quick break and thank our other sponsor, Squarespace.com, the fast and easy way to create a high-quality website or a blog. You're probably looking at the CES coverage and maybe getting some ideas, get some opinions. Get out there and make your voice heard. Start a Squarespace blog. It's very easy. You don't need a credit card. You just go to Squarespace.com, you name your blog, and like that, you're up and blogging in a really good-looking way. It's not some default template that looks like everybody else. They've got hundreds of templates to choose from, and they all look great. They're all professionally designed, so your blog is going to look professionally designed, but you can tweak it, you can customize it, so it doesn't look just like everybody else's blog. And the best part is you get the reliability of Squarespace behind it, so if it does get popular, or you get a bunch of people coming at once, it can hold up to the traffic. Check it out, Squarespace.com. Like I said, you don't have to take my word for it. Try it out, absolutely free. And if you do decide to keep the service, you'll get 3 months for 30% off if you use the offer code CES1. Squarespace.com. We thank them for their support of our continuing coverage of CES with Alex Lindsay. I'm Tom Merritt. Joining us now, Chris from Surf Easy.
That's right.
How's it going? Good to see you.
It's going good. It's nice to be sitting down. Thanks for having chairs.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's one of the best parts about this job at CES.
I've learned that from first time actually being an exhibitor. I haven't stood this much for a long time.
So what do you got to tell us about today?
I want to tell you about Surf Easy. It's basically the simplest way to protect your privacy and security on any computer. It's a USB key that's designed to be about the size of a credit card, so you can carry it in your wallet.
That's the new thing I've noticed. All the press kits are on these credit card USB keys like that.
This one's a little bit more specialized, but what you have on here is your own personal web browser and internet encryption. So when you plug this into a Mac or PC, it's going to ask for your password. You enter it, launches the browser from the USB key, so you have your bookmarks, passwords, history, all that sort of stuff on any computer. But unlike a normal browser, none of that's left behind on the computer. So when you remove it, your personal history, your Google searches, all that sort of stuff, nothing's left behind on the computer for others to see. And we encrypt the internet connection. So if you're using a Wi-Fi hotspot or a network that might otherwise not be secured, you don't even have to worry about it. You just plug it in and you're secure.
Now, what kind of browser is running on?
It's our own browser, but it's based on the Mozilla source code, so people will find it pretty familiar.
I know probably a lot of people in our audience are looking at this saying, okay, that's cool, but I could just go get a USB stick and put a portableapps.com stuff on it, encrypt it with TrueCrypt or something. What do you provide that they can't do easily on their own?
You know, when we started working on the project, we saw that there were solutions that were great for, you know, really, really serious geeks or enterprise users and that sort of thing. There wasn't anything that was really addressing a good consumer market for a plug-and-play, easy-to-use solution. You know, a lot of little things go into the design to make it consumer-friendly. For example, the components we use in the flash in here are more commonly used in RAM flash rather than, you know, hard drives. Hard drives aren't designed for speed. They're not designed for running an application. So they you do a lot of read-writes. It starts to burn out the USB key, and it's not as fast, and you actually end up with a dial-up speed type of browsing session. And then in the network itself, you know, we run the proxy network for the security encryption, designed not just for security but for speed as well. You know, our view is that a security product is only as good as how often it gets used. And if it's slow and if it's, you know, quirky and it does weird things and it doesn't work all the time, you're not going to use it. So, you know, we just think that it's a simpler solution for most people.
Now, is this just a product, or is it a product and a service that you need to get to make it work?
It's a bit of both. The product itself comes with a lifetime access, basic access to the Surf Easy encrypted network. With that, you get 2 gigs a month of browsing. So for the average user who wants to use it out of the home, you know, maybe at the office or wherever they are for email and Facebook, should be fine. But if you want to use it for media, we have plans that go up $5, $10 a month with tons of data so that you can do whatever you want.
Well, and I can see a traveler wanting to have something like I travel. I spend a lot of time in airports, and you're always concerned about what kind of connection. And if I'm going to start, you know, typing in my credit card to order, you know, to fix my flight or whatever, I'm worried that it's going to go out somewhere, and I don't want. And so I'm not going to use it necessarily all the time. But when I'm in an airport, or I'm in a Starbucks, or I'm in a whatever, I'm able to make all that work.
Well, that's the thing. You know, for a lot of people, they're using or accessing their online lives in a whole bunch of different places. And for most people, it's impossible to know if the Wi-Fi is set up securely, if the computer you're using is set up securely. We just want to enable any consumer to have a secure browsing experience and not have to worry about it.
How much does the device run, and how much does the service run again?
It's $59.99, and it includes lifetime basic usage. And again, we have $5, $10 plans that go up in gigabytes depending on how much you need.
And available? Can people get it right now?
Yeah, we're launching it right now at the show. We're shipping in February, so we're very excited. It's been a good show for us.
People in the chat room are wanting to know a little bit more about the what kind of encryption you're using on the connection.
Well, so it's an encrypted proxy connection. It's an SSL connection. We use the same type of thing that you would get with, you know, online banking or anything like that. So everything that you do is wrapped in that encrypted tunnel.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Chris. It's great.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Thanks for stopping by.
Okay, thanks.
That's really cool. It is, and it's one of those products that you see, Alex, where at first you look at it and you're like, well, I could do that. But that's why I asked the question, because, you know, sometimes it's true. You look at it and you're like, well, I could do that.
I could, yeah, but
know.
do you want to?
Right.
And also, do you want to, you know, these guys have thought it all out. They figured all the little bits out and everything else. Or do you, if you're really that geeky and you're able to do that, then you should do it yourself. You know, but if you're, you know, I'm not an encryption guy, and I'm not the hacker guy. I just want something to work. I could definitely see how, and I look at it and I just go, I travel so much. I'd love to have this in my pocket, because I always worry. There's things that I have to do. I have to do stuff that needs to be secure, and I don't know if it's secure.
Yeah, I'd like Steve Gibson to poke around on it.
Yeah,
you know, somebody like that.
We should hand it to the Gibson
if there's any holes in there. But I love the idea. I love the concept. And it sounds like they know what they're talking about.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That's just pretty cool. I would worry that it might break. Those small caseless USB drives. Some of them I've had are durable as hell. They just last forever. Others, because they don't have the case around.
I think that larger credit card case
helps protect it.
Helps protect it a lot.
Absolutely. Well, that's it for the hour. we're done. We're done for now, but the CES coverage continues. We're going to go into our Before You Buy segment. We've been wandering the show floor looking for all kinds of products to tell you about, more than we can have come up to the table, more than we can stream live. So we're going to show that to you next.
I have. Do you have? Oh,
okay.
I got
Before we wrap up, Alex. That's right. You did. You brought a bunch of stuff
just
here.
in case.
Yeah,
Leo
yeah.
would be swarmed. So I found a couple things. I'll bring them over here. So one of the things that I'm always trying to do. Some of this was dealing with me trying to cover the event, and so this is it's called the iPole Mini, and it pulls out like this. And there's a couple people that have made these. You can see this here. Now there's a case that I put somewhere here. So this little case here will go on your iPhone. And then you can put it on here, and basically you can stick it out and shoot yourself.
It's a 10-foot pole. Well, it's not 10
exactly.
feet, but yeah.
And there's some other ones that I've used in the past, but they're plastic and they're not nearly as stiff.
Yeah, that one looks pretty.
This one really, I really thought that the make and the quality was a little bit high, a little bit better. So this is called the iPole, and I thought that was kind of fun. And then again, I've been trying to figure out how to cover stuff. So this is the Irig. So this is a microphone that. It hooks into your headphone jack on your iPhone, and now you have like a really nice mic that you can use, and it's being powered completely from your headphone jack, just the power that it uses to run your headphones. It'll do that, and then you can also change its sensitivity right here just by moving it back and forth to decide if I can record Brent over here, or I can just make something that only works when I'm talking into it. And as something like I want to cover a show, like Robert Scoble interviewed me, with just his iPhone kind of going, and it sounded okay.
Yeah.
But this would be a great thing to have if you just want to do an interview and do something really, really quickly, and just be able to have it right to your iPhone, push it up to the cloud, that type of thing. I thought that was a really...
How much are they charging?
I believe this is $99. And they make a lot of...
It's not cheap, but
it's not, but I mean... We're going to buy a mic oftentimes like this to do this.
Sure.
And I can't remember whether it's $49 or $99. I have to admit that I grabbed it. I should have. I'm not doing really my journalistic duty there. But the Manfrotto was handing these out. Look at this. This is a little tripod.
This is the coolest little tripod.
It looks like a little crab. They should just call it the crab.
Yeah. And it's got the tripod. It's got the camera connector. And yeah, we were beating on it earlier.
Really, and then you can make fine adjustments to it.
Because it looked a little flimsy to me when you first showed it.
I know, because it's so tiny. So here's the thing: is a lot of these little tripods that you get, when you get these little ones you can put in your pocket, they're not very solid. This one is really, really stiff. So when you pull it out, it's really going to hold your camera. And I can see times when I might use it like this, where I'm kind of doing a light clamp onto something as well. So there's a lot of things that you can do with it. And the great thing is, for travelers like me, is that all of that's going to pack up, even if you're just sitting on top of your car to take a picture of you and your family.
Right. That looks dangerous.
Yes. So this is a little kit. This is a kit. This is Manfrotto makes this. So I was wandering over the Manfrotto booth. That's how I ended up with this. But this is like an erector set. This is like an adult erector set. And so what this is for is photographers who want to build kind of a rig.
That's Meccano for those of you in Britain.
Meccano. Yeah, there you go. So each one of these are all 3/8-inch threaded connections, which is pretty standard in our industry. And what you can do is you can just start building out, devices. If you want to get your lights over here, lights in one place and your cameras in another and everything else. And because it's 3/8, it's very standard. It also, a lot of these pieces here will lock right into a 5/8, stand. And so from a photographer's point of view or a videographer's point of view, it's a great way to add, have a really nice stiff support system for your camera.
Hand me that, and hand me the tripod. Check this out. This is the first thing I thought of when you showed me that.
I don't think it's going to work.
Is it not going to work?
I don't think. No, because this is a quarter 20.
It's the wrong.
No,
size.
it's a quarter 20. No,
well,
it's
all
quarter
right.
20. But
that would have been too cool. This is still cool.
Anyway, so
by the way, $49 for the Irig mic. Somebody
49, not 99.
Yeah,
49. See, 49. It's great when people are watching and then giving us feedback.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, and there's another product I was looking at. They're working. They were showing it at the booth. They're working on a XLR, which is a mic like these mics.
Yeah.
An XLR input for your iPhone.
Oh wow.
That's going to be $99. And they have a new mixer that I couldn't bring. But anyway, it's really, really great if you're looking for something that you want high quality audio. I've been starting to play with it, and this is the best audio input other than like the other, I mean, then you start stepping up into this, which is I've had this for a little bit, but this is a jam, and now this is going through the 30 pin. And this is when you start getting really complicated.
So you can put whatever mic you want.
Whatever mic you want, or a guitar, and you're able to put it through the 30 pin. You have a little gain here.
Nice.
And anyway, so that's the next.
So you could just take an XLR to a 1/4 inch cable.
Exactly.
And then use a high mic with your iPhone. Yeah.
So this is I believe this was $149, but I can't. I have a bad habit of buying a lot of stuff really quickly when I'm ramping up.
Don't quote him on that.
So anyway, so I'm not very good at prices. That's why Carlita does all the bills. So anyway, those are some of the stuff that's been kind of floating around. Of course, we've talked about this before.
That looks familiar.
This is the Bebo, the Owly.
It's still cool though.
So
love it.
That's just kind of that's my coverage rig.
All right.
We ready to?
Yeah, we're going to wrap it up. Thanks, everybody, for watching this edition of our coverage, CES Live, from CES International 2012. For Alex Lindsay, I'm Tom Merritt.